Good evening. This is Beaty-Coffey of the Ministry of Uncover No More. I'm actually with our bunny Cinnamon, who is chomping on romaine lettuce behind me. And no, I do not live in a barnyard, y'all. But the truth is, I have a resident bunny in my front yard that I also talk to because the bunny listens. So, anyway, I haven't been able to, because of some things in my life, I haven't been able to sit in my office for quite some time. But there's a bit of a breakthrough. And aren't breakthroughs like that? Don't they come gradually? I think in the United States, we need to redefine what breakthroughs are because people put so much expectation on what is a breakthrough in family relationships or in personal healing or in any number of things. It's more of an amoral subject matter here. But we are coming upon an election cycle of 4 years that is a repeat from January of 2017 to 2020. And that it doesn't take a redoubling of effort. It takes simple faithfulness and understanding how to come against the terrors that the powers who are like in our lives, okay? And I don't know why in January of 2025 that I'm actually able to sit back at my father's desk and have some things here. First of all, I have my mandala, which my seventh child encouraged me by simply saying, you know, maybe you should use markers as opposed to pencils because my wrists and everything have been in pain, and it did increase with COVID, my COVID story, my scoliosis plus COVID. But the good news is in 2025 that I had my measurements taken in 2024 in the last quarter of 2024, and I have not gotten worse. So there is no bad news. That is excellent prognosis for my future, and I will continue to be faithful in getting my measurements done. If you'll notice, I'm still trying to do small balls. I'm having to pull off my expectations on myself to do it every day because it just causes me guilt complexes, along with some people in my life who know how to pull the guilt complex on others of the family. It's not just me. And we've got to cut the success rate of that, and they need to now handle their issues. We are all old enough that I will tell you that point blank, and I am a mother in billions of families. And when the mother says, it is time now for everyone to take care of your own issues, she is equally going to say, and then you need to turn around and you need to take the hand of the older generation and take the blame for what you've done. And don't require them to change anymore after what they've been through. I'm old enough, plus I'm a sorceress. I had some good draws the past few days in my magic. It will go on my blogs. This particular mandala that is reacquainting me with actually feeling no pain and in just pure enjoyment in my home after all of the battles I have faced as an exorcist. Is quite a bit less. And I indeed have a therapy appointment at the end of this month, so I will be able to report that along with the diary that I have. But sadly, other than monetary inheritance, I'm having to restructure, more hardline restructure some things because of what has happened my entire life of marriage. There comes a point in a life of a spiritualist like myself where you have to say, there is no going back. I must heal too. I must let go. And being who I am, there are two men who can request that I take another step of reconciliation. But let me be clear as a woman. There will be no more changes on my part. None for the rest of my life. You never, ever tried to understand my perspective. The doors are closed and locked. I'm not the only one that has the keys, but I cannot hear from younger people, particularly, what you think I should change. After how many times I left and cried in my bedroom, I identified with some of my children and drank with them or did things that we could be together even if it looked like the mother was encouraging behaviors that I wasn't actually encouraging. I was simply living my life, but I have a public life. I've seen a lot come and go and come back, and it makes me ill in my very core that I have to say these things. And I will tell you that my own poetry and the poetry of many men and women is what are healers for me personally. I hope you have a personal healing, whomever you are, no matter what I have to do for the rest of my life. I'm going to do it and have always done it as kindly as I could, apologizing when I could. And I think you should take my example. It will humble you in a way that is pure gold on the earth, so to speak. Now, this Mandela book is now in this place that I couldn't spend time in for quite some time because of the pain that came, and it's still very fresh in my memory what has been in this room. I have to blot it out, and the only way I can is to be here, to spend time here. I have J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter, the Illustrated Collection, illustrated by Jim Kay. I will be reading those books sitting right here comfortably. They're beautiful, and I've always wanted to stop and read and them. So right now I am finishing Frost. It is an Everyman Library Pocket Poets book, and it's about to I'm going to do some artwork. I've already done I'm going to read the poem here in a moment that is going to have artwork done with it. I'm using the Mandela's 50 Original Hand-Drawn Designs, Volume 1. It's an adult coloring book. It's Color It. And it's already up on a blog that I'm doing this series. And this particular one that I have not dated yet because I haven't finished it. Here are the quotes that brought me downstairs. These are the things I learned mentoring. I was mentoring them. I was learning them and mentoring in them at the same time as a woman who is not heard. Or I would not have some of the decisions to make going into 2025 that indeed I'm having to make again. I can't be hurt anymore. I can't be charged with things that I had no control over anymore. I can't change myself for you anymore. And I changed a lot. Go get more therapy. Embrace what the unknown universe of love gave you as you grew up. Embrace it instead of hating it out of insecurity. That's what I have to say. To many, many people, this is generations Millennial and Z. You are selfish. You are angry at the educational society. And I'm going to say you have every right to be. Jane Elliott is on UncoverNoMore.blog, and she will continue to be published on UncoverNoMore.blog, along with I'm doing Adrienne Rich, who is actually going to come downstairs here because she understands. She's a modern day poet that understands Robert Frost belongs down here. And this Mandela, not my other special, Mandela and Megamund, they stay upstairs in that place. My cats are eating right now upstairs. Okay, being disinterested is not the same choice as choosing, quote unquote, I don't care. Are you and I making choices each day which chain us to the damnation of degenerative past? And toxic courage is not the same thing as valiant courage. The former damns everyone to hell on earth in its rage of arrogance. In other words, it's hard to be, it's hard to continue our love relationship with some people. And I've had many people like that. Protestants are particularly prone to this disease, if you will, of human condition. Let's read Frost and get out of the negativity of this, shall we? The 1st of January, 2025. Birches by Robert Frost. When I see birches bend to left and right across the lines of straighter, darker trees, I like to think some boy's been swinging them. But swinging doesn't bend them down to stay. Ice storms do that. Often you must have seen them loaded with ice a sunny winter morning after a rain. They click upon themselves as the breeze rises and turn many-colored as the stir cracks and crazes their enamel. Soon the sun's warmth makes them shed crystal shells, shattering and avalanching on the snow crust, such heaps of broken glass to sweep away. You'd think the inner dome of heaven had fallen. They are dragged to the withered bracken by their load, and they seem not to break, though once they are bowed, so low for long, they never right themselves. You may see their trunks arching in the woods, years afterwards, trailing their leaves on the ground, like girls on hands and knees that throw their hair before them over their heads to dry in the sun. But I was going to say, when truth, capital T truth, broke in, with all her matter of fact about the ice storm, in parentheses, now am I free to be poetical? I should prefer to have some boy bend them as he went out and in to fetch the cows. Some boy too far from town to learn baseball, whose only play was what he found himself, summer or winter, and could play alone. Many people despise it when they are there and actually have a problem with their parents. You can change that dichotomy. You can change that aura, and you should. And Robert Frost and I are your witness that sometimes that is the best raising for some people, and destiny knows what you need. Don't be arrogant towards your destiny. One by one, he subdued his father's trees by writing them down over and over again until he took the stiffness out of them, and not one but hung limp, not one was left for him to conquer. He learned all there was to learn about not launching out too soon, and so not carrying the tree away clear to the ground. He always kept his poise to the top branches, climbing carefully with the same pains you use to fill a cup up to the brim and even above the brim. Then he flung outward, feet first, with a swish, kicking his way down through the air to the ground. So was I once myself a swinger of birches, and so I dream of going back to be. It's when I'm weary of considerations and life is too much like a pathless wood where your face burns and tickles with the cobwebs broken across it, and one eye is weeping from a twig's having lashed across it open. I'd like to get away from earth a while and then come back to it and begin over. Robert Frost and I are beginning over for the entire Western world. This is not just Beaty-Coffey of the Ministry of Uncover No More. This is Inoctera. May no fate willfully misunderstand me and half grant what I wish and snatch me away, not to return. Earth's the right place for love. I don't know where it's likely to go better. I'd like to go by climbing a birch tree and climb black branches up a snow-white trunk toward heaven till the tree could bear no more, but dipped its top and set me down again. That would be good, both going and coming back. One could do worse than be a swinger of birches. And then I added, as a city girl, or a swinger of swings. There's a set of beautiful adult swings here in this town, and I will be seen. I couldn't do it today. I was working through some things. So there you have it. Love never fails. I love everyone I've had to speak of. They love me conditionally. They are now, for the rest of my life, going to learn unconditional love. And they are going to come back. I don't need any apologies. I need fellowship to heal my soul. You need to walk off your past, to heal the soul of the King in his current body form in the United States when he is here. When he's not, it's none of your business. But you've got some work to do. And the federal government is who I'm talking to, as much as individuals in the boundaries of the United States. You've got some work to do. Again, this is Beaty-Coffey of the Ministry of Uncover No More.